know, distinguish between good and bad, right and wrong. And for me, as a first-hand witness, it was very simple on that day. I was one of the first responders to get to the communities of the south of Israel in the Gaza envelope, and to first-hand saw what Hamas and other organizations have done to Israelis on that day. When I say Israelis, it's not just Jews. It's Muslims, it's Christian communities, it's kids from the Nova that are mixed between so many different nationalities. And I saw firsthand the pure barbarism that was acted against us. Now, I have to say that whatever Hamas had done on that day, it was not a crime just against Israelis. It was a crime against Jews in general, and more than that, it was a crime against humankind. The sexual assault as a tool that Hamas had used against men and women on that day, it has really simple, the way it looked at it, to this kind of things. It's good or bad. It's right or wrong. And after witnessing it, I made a promise for myself. And it's the same promise that people that I learned from them, even Holocaust survivors, made. Never again. Never again, Jewish helpless people will raise their hands in the face of evilness. And what I understood immediately is that today it's right here in Israel, but this extremism exists everywhere in the world. And we need to fight it. And how we can fight it? We can fight darkness with light. We need to put more light in this world. And that's what I felt on that day. Even though it was daylight, I got there in the morning. I felt I'm in the most deepest darkness in the world. And if I could bring a tiny light into the situation I was in, this is a good blessing. And that's what both my friend Remo and myself have done on that day. And that's what made me create this film that you just saw, all of you. I didn't want to be lonely in this experience. I'm not calling myself a survivor. You know why? Because I carried weapon with me. I had the ability to defend myself and other helpless civilians against those murderers and killers. So I'm not a survivor. But I didn't want to stay alone in this story. It's a very, very intense story to hold alone, right? I wanted to share it with the world. And for me, and even Remo, to travel around the world and to share our story, crowd after crowd, will be exhausted. We'll exhaust ourselves, and it's not scalable. But here, a lot of you heard my story and Remo's story through the VR. And that's what made me come up with this idea, to combine technology and storytelling together into a very powerful tool to allow people in the world to understand what we are facing, the deep problem we are facing, and in my belief there is an answer to it. So this is our project. It's called Survive to Tell. And this project is taking another step of scalability, because if you scan the QR code, you'll see that you can go into an AI conversational video with us. You can ask Remo close to 70 questions about his thoughts of peace in the Middle East, about how he felt on that day, how his family received it. Many, many questions that you have in mind after seeing Remo's movie. You can go online and just go into an AI conversation with him. Same with me, and same with Ophir that got kidnapped to Gaza when he was 17 years old with his girlfriend and her father, and he had a birthday, 18, in captivity, as hostage in the tunnels of Gaza. And luckily he was released to share his story. And Mazal, she's Ethiopian Jew, after her best two friends executed in front of her eyes, their only crime is they came to celebrate, to have fun. That's the only crime they've done. They were executed. And the terrorist that killed them, he looked at Mazal, and he wanted to take her to Gaza with him. So he hit her back of her head with a rifle, and He started to drag her. He tied her leg with a rope and started to drag her. And if you look into Mazal's story, she'll tell you everything. And you'll be able to ask her questions about how she survived. And the same with Milet. Again, thank you very much. I'll be happy to answer any questions after Remo will share his story.